Why do women feel compelled to retract the charges of their abuser? If no neighbors didn't call, she pretty much would have been dead.
Do you think that it's possible that men settle?
How do we not know? In her mind, she felt like she was settling. Is masturbating a form of cheating? To me personally, yes, I think it is a form of cheating. Like, I'll just start it off with there.
The man or the woman?
Yes, I think it's a form of cheating.
So your hand or your machine is who you're cheating with? Listen, man. Yes,
he's not bringing no STDs.
Yes, he is. No, because you're bringing another person into it.
It doesn't matter if you're bringing another person because it's still sex at the end of the day. It's still the term of sex.
Yeah, but that's just me.
I said what I said, damn it. This came from a post. I think men equate performing badly in bed to duration.
I don't know. I feel like it goes back to the thing of us women feeling like, oh, I don't know how to tell a man this. I don't want to hurt his ego.
Welcome to Matter of Opinion, the show where we debate and give our opinion based off facts and the information provided. I'm your boy, Walls P.
And it's your girl, Tia.
So today's episode, we got a multitude of topics that we're going to cover. So with that being said, let us know what you think in the comment section. So the first topic that we're going to cover is Paul Bashi. Now, this happened back in July of 2018, but with C-19, it kind of held up the court proceedings. Fast forward to now, the man just got sentenced. So everything started with him going through his girlfriend's phone at the time, Christina. The minute she walked in the door, he charged her, hit her with over 107 punches, about 85 kicks, 28 stabbings with 4 different knives, picked up everything he could get his hands on and threw it at this woman, and pretty much left her for dead. Neighbors then found her on the porch, called the cops. Fast forward to now, the man was sentenced for 14 years in prison. Now, there's many twists and turns to the story. Number one, his bail was set at $1 million. Uncle bailed him out for that $1 million. As we approached sentencing, he caught another charge by catching a domestic violence charge to that same uncle that bailed him out. And then during his sentencing, his now wife took the stand defending him, saying she wanted all charges dropped and that he's a changed man.
Judge Toya, the court has only seen the bad side of Paul. Since he has been released, every day he's been showing me he's a changed man. He realized his mistake and has changed for the better. He goes to counseling, anger management classes, and domestic violence, all on his own.
The way he puts me first, whatever he has happening in his life right now, it's so stressful. He still puts me first, and he makes sure that I'm okay.
So, with that being said, my question to you, because I'd love to hear a female perspective on it, is why do women feel compelled to retract the charges of their abuser, especially in a situation like this where she was left in a coma for a couple of days and she pretty much was on her deathbed?
Wow, that's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I think trying to give you the short and the long, first of all, let me just say I do not condone that in any way, shape, or form and what he did to her, nor in her taking him back. But I think the psychologist in me would kind of need to dig a little deeper into her backstory to see exactly what was going on, her upbringing, that sort of thing. Because I feel like this reminds me of a lot of my students and, I hate to say it, even like some of my friends who have been in certain situations where they always feel like they can change him. Or sometimes they feel like, oh, but, he's not like that all the time. They make excuses and things like that. The other thing is a lot of times if the man has anger issues, sometimes he may have abandonment issues. And the woman always feels like, oh, no, but I can't leave him because that's what he's used to.
Even to the point like where he pretty much left her on her deathbed, like, because if no neighbors didn't call, she pretty much would have been dead. And she
I would have to dig deeper into what is her backstory. And again, I'm not making an excuse for it, but a lot of times when people fail to realize that we mimic what we were raised with in our household and our relationships. Mm-hmm. So if that's something that she saw growing up, it's a possibility that she's mimicking it in her relationship. So maybe for her, that's the norm. Or again, maybe she feels like she can change him. Or maybe she feels like, oh no, I can't leave him because, what if he changes? I don't want to regret anything. Women always feel like that. Like, oh, what if I leave him and then he turns around and ends up marrying somebody, the things that she wanted with him. And it definitely is a self-esteem issue. I tell women in all situations like this, you have to love yourself more than you love that man, because it's a possibility that it could cost you your life. In her instance, that could have cost her life. Mm-hmm. And it's sad, like, because it's like, well, what else will it take for you to realize that this isn't the man for you? Or what else will it take, or what else does he have to do to you before you decide that you need to move on? So, and again, it's not making an excuse, but I see so many women in these situations, and it's because, oh, they're also afraid of starting over. And you'd be surprised at how many women are like, you know what, I'd rather deal with the devil I have than the devil I don't know. And it sounds crazy to us, but it makes sense to them.
See, here's my thing, man, because number one, you have guys like this that do these type of things or whatever. And for me, my opinion, I believe that women should cut off these men 100%, because I think it was said that it was about 60% of cases like this, the women want to retract their statements and everything and get charges dropped. But my thing is, now that's building a culture, making men think, if I do this, I'm not going to have no consequences behind it, because I can get her to retract her statement, or, you know, try to drop the charges and stuff like that. So that's kind of giving men the mindset of thinking, oh, this is okay for me to do because, you know, I'll get away with it, so to speak. No, stick to your guns. If a man put his hands on you and damn near nearly killed you, like, I don't care what kind of contrite that he showed or whatever the case may be. If he's going to show that to the next woman, let him show that to the next woman that he changed or whatever. But you already went through the circumstances of seeing that this man has inner demons and has the possibility of taking your life at a slap of a finger. So why take that risk is what I'm saying. So that whole retracting and everything like that, I don't agree with it. I don't care what he posted in your ear or, you know, whatever sweet nothings that he said. Because think about it. If the man was locked up and just made bail earlier this year, how, like, were you keeping in contact with him while he was, you know, incarcerated and everything like that? So my thing is, how much changes can you tell? Now, granted, she said that, you know, he went to therapy willingly and everything like that. That's fine and dandy. But in my opinion, let him have whatever life-changing situation he had, take that to the next woman.
And that's like the other article that I had sent you about the Turkish woman who took her boyfriend back, who she tried to break up with him, and he threw acid on her face, disfigured her and everything, and she ended up taking him back because he apologized and said he's a changed man. And a part of me is just like, why do we keep subjecting ourselves to this? This is not love. And again, I don't know if they're mimicking things that they saw. Is it that they're afraid of being alone? Is it a self-esteem issue? Always advise young women and older women, actually everybody, you have to heal before you get into a relationship. Go to therapy, go to couples counseling before it gets to this level. And even if you don't believe in counseling for whatever reason, pay attention to those red flags because they're real. The moment that you see them, it's not carnival.
Yeah.
Red flags, you need to go.
And here's one thing that I will say too, because you got to look at it like this. If, like, I know we had many conversations about accountability and stuff like this. See, I don't think nobody on the outside is saying that, hey, he should get a second chance, because everybody that's seeing what he did, saw the video and everything, is like, yo, you need to do away with this man. Absolutely. But you have the person who's the victim is willing to give him the second chance and everything like that. So my thing is, it make these men think they don't have to have accountability because the victim is going to forgive them, I should say.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
It can also be Stockholm syndrome. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised at how many of these women, even if they didn't have, any upbringing that they need to heal from, it could just be the fact of, it's psychological warfare. You know, times when we date these narcissists and, these men who have issues, for whatever reason, we as women, we always feel like we can change them. We always feel like, oh, maybe I can be the one, or maybe, and sometimes I've seen instances where it takes these women having children before they realize, like, oh wait, I need to get out of this situation. But the problem is, a lot of times these women don't make it to that because they end up getting killed. They end up, they end up getting, probably mutilated or, something bad. Exactly. Something bad had to happen in order for them to realize it. And again, in this woman's situation, I'm not going to judge her. I pray for her. I feel sorry for her because it's sad that you have people out there feel like this is love.
Yeah.
Like this is what they need, because clearly there's a codependency there. because if you're an independent woman, you're thinking for yourself, you have a high self-esteem, you know your worth, there's absolutely no way you can justify what that man did.
Exactly.
And again, I don't know her friends and family and all other stuff, but I'm just saying it to say that sometimes even the people you surround yourself with can encourage you to stay in those situations. And that's horrible.
If that was my sister or daughter or something like that, I'd been like, let that man go.
Absolutely.
So the word that I want to spread to women nowadays, if you're in a toxic relationship, especially where a man is putting hands on you and stuff like that, let the situation go. I know you're thinking, hey, it might be hard to rebuild and stuff like that, but look, you put your mind to anything, it's possible.
Absolutely.
You don't need him to prosper in life. Trust me, you're stronger than that. You're stronger by leaps and bounds. So don't think that, oh, if I let this man go, I won't find somebody else. It'll be hard for me to build. No, you can do it. Like it's a easier path to find somebody else than putting your life at risk and wondering, is this guy going to kill me today?
I agree with you.
Get what I'm saying?
Too, I want to take it a step further. Don't even wait for them to put their hands on you, because verbal abuse, emotional abuse, if they're withholding you from, let's say, using your phone, if they need to periodically check your phone and they need to have the password to your social media, if they get upset if you go visit your parents or hang out with your friends, those are all red flags right there, telling you that, you know what, this isn't a good situation. Or you know what, depending on if I catch him on a good day, what could possibly happen? Could he take it a step further? So those are things that I want women and men to pay attention to, because men get abused as well. They just don't talk about it. So I really do feel like, before it even gets to the point of them putting their hands on you, pay attention to those red flags and talk to somebody. I know a lot of times we try to keep things private and, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. No. I want you to start talking to your friends or talk to a neutral person, someone who doesn't know either of you, and just say, hey, this happened today, or you know what, let me just give you this scenario and see what their response is, to let you know, like, okay, yeah, this wasn't okay. Okay, I was right. He was wrong in what he did, or yeah, she shouldn't have said that to me, because, it's many different flags out there before they put their hands on you.
I agree 100%.
And the other thing too,
Come on, wrap it up, because we got to move to the next segment. So.
Okay, and then the other thing that I just wanted to say is also stop acting like you're their therapist. You're not their therapist. If they need to seek therapy, if they need to talk to somebody, direct them to some counseling. And if they don't want to go, tell them, until you go to counseling or until you complete whatever it is, we can't be together. That's it.
So in other words, since she's opened up the statement saying she's going to put her counselor hat on, that means disregard everything that she just said. All right. So let's move to the next topic, which is the Megan Good divorce. So you want to let the people know what we're going to discuss with this topic? Absolutely.
So for those of you out there who don't know, Megan Good was married to Devon Franklin, and he's a preacher. If I'm not mistaken, I believe his family was like Seventh-day Adventist or something like that. And they were married for about 9 years. And recently, they put out a joint statement saying that they were going to divorce, but Devon Franklin has made it clear she's still the love of his life, and all these other things, which is confusing a lot of people. But a lot of people also feel like they weren't equally yoked. So my question to you is, do you think that it's possible that men settle? Do you think, are you familiar with the situation? Do you think this is a situation where for sake of conversation, he settled for Megan Good? I want to know what your thoughts are.
I mean, I followed up on this story a little bit, not as in depth as you, but from what I gathered from it, I don't feel that he settled, so to speak, because in all honesty, I think men feel like they settle when it comes to looks. Like, in all honesty, I think that's where men feel that they settle, whatever. Because if you look at it, like most men that marry a woman, you'll see like a person on the outside be like, damn, why did he marry her? Why did she marry him? It's the little things that he or she does for that person or whatever. But for men, I think looks is more of a thing that makes him feel like he's settling, so to speak. So I don't think that he settled with her. Where I do think he settled is he probably had things where he had, in his trade of thought was, I'm going to have kids, the whole white picket fence and everything like that. And once they tied the knot, she was like, no, I'm not having kids. I'm not interested in having kids or whatever. So I guess in a sense, he probably can feel like he's settled in that sense where I wanted kids, but she's not willing to give it to me. But as far as like going into the wedding and everything or the marriage, I don't feel like he felt like he settled or was settling at the time. That's just my opinion on it.
I just wanted to point out, like when we say settling, like I hear what you're saying, like you talk about books, but sometimes you can settle even if it's a positive. You know what I mean? Like even if it's something like, oh, okay, I said that I would never date outside of my race, right? I end up marrying someone who was outside of my race. In a sense, I settled, but it doesn't mean that it's a negative thing, right? But I feel like in this instance, because reading different reports, and you can even go back to different interviews that they did, you know, they were talking about how I believe she had, you know, alcohol dependency issues in the beginning, and that's something that she overcame. And, you know, Devon Franklin, he appears to be, you know, this very religious man, this very good man, you know, all these other things. And, you know, when you look at Megan Good, she was she still is an actress. She's dated rappers, you know, and I'm pretty sure some of you have seen her show Harlem. That's on Amazon Prime, where she tossed the salad of one of the guys. That
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
So, you know, it's like when you look at that in a sense, it doesn't come off like they're equally yoked. And that's
I wouldn't put that as settling. I just feel as though he felt like when they got married, whatever, he was deceived as far as like the things they saw eye to eye on. You get what I'm saying? Now, it's a difference if before getting married, they discuss like, hey, I want XYZ. And she's like, no, I don't want XYZ. This is what. But if they were speaking and they were on the same page of everything, of course he's not feeling like he's settling. Now, once they do and she switched modes on him, then it's like, yo, you lied to me. You get what I'm saying? The only way he can feel like he's settled is if they discussed it and she's like, no, I'm not giving you kids. No, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And you make a choice if you want to be with me or not. If he decides to, then you settle. But I can't say deceiving them is a form of settling.
I see what you're saying, but I think from the outside looking in, a lot of the people feel as though that he settled because she wasn't a typical church girl. She wasn't, essentially, from what we can see, she wasn't raised in a church. She wasn't a 7-day Adventist. She wasn't, you know, any of those things. And a lot of things that she did change in terms of how she dressed, you know, praying more often, like they used to, because I follow them on Instagram. They used to have these different segments where they would do Instagram Live and pray, you know, all of those things that she changed about herself, I think, to fit his mold of whatever it was that he wanted in a wife. So I don't know. I feel like from the outside looking in, that they, like I said, they just weren't equally yoked. And that's why I was just wondering, like, I feel like to an extent men settle, and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's, if it goes against something that you are or something that you wanted, I feel like that's settling, whether it's, you know, finances, it's looks, it's rate, whatever it may be. So again, I don't think it's a negative thing. It's just, and granted, this could just be our outside looking in opinion, but I do feel like it's very important, not only, like you said, you have those conversations before you even get in a relationship, marriage, but you also have to understand that you have to be equally yoked. You know, someone has said it clear as day. You can't fit a size 9.5 shoe in a size 7. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't fit a 9.5 foot in a size 7 shoe. So it's the same thing. You have to be equally yoked with that person that you're with, because you want to avoid these things. You know, when you look at a lot of these Hollywood marriages, it's like, are any of them lasting past 5 years? I mean, a lot of people were surprised they lasted this long, which was shocking.
See, here's my thing. Everybody's wondering about, did he settle? But nobody's talking about, was it a possibility she settled? Because here's the thing. If you read how they got started, they got together and married like within a year or something like that. Everything was so fast tracked. So from her perspective,
they did fast. They did fast. They didn't have sex.
No, but what I'm saying is, how do we not know things on his end that he said, I'm bringing to the table, she thought she was going to get, and once reality kicked in, it's like, yo, the things that you said you was going to do XYZ, you're not doing it. So if that's the way you're moving, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have, you get what I'm saying? We don't know. So how do we not know? In her mind, she felt like she was settling because if a person, like, if you know this man is in church and stuff, like all this other stuff or whatever, women will most likely like change. Like women do a lot of the changing as far as changing their ways or taking that L, whatever, to be like, yo, I want things to be better for the sake of the relationship. So if he's not doing something on his part, then she might not feel obligated to be like, yo, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop doing it. You get what I'm saying? So who knows what it is on both parties. Like I said, everybody's focused on him settling, but what about her side of it?
No, that's a really good point.
You know?
And I think, like, again, just from the outside looking in, because he was just so religious and all these different things, and the way she portrayed herself in terms of how she dressed and the way she portrayed herself in these different movies and stuff like that. That's why. Because
check this out. When somebody who's religious, right, want to cast judgment on you, but you see they're living their life of sin, you looking at them like, dude, why you judging me? But you sitting up here doing XYZ, that's against the Bible. You get what I'm saying? So we don't know if those type of things is going on. So everybody look at, oh, he's in the church, whatever, but behind closed doors, what was he doing that was godly like or not godly like, that she was seeing that everybody else don't see? You get what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
it could be a lot to this.
Good point. And the other thing is too, I think because they both have been fairly quiet, it's just been here say, you know, people who weren't so or vocal on his side, you know, the church people have a lot to say.
You know why I'm laughing? Because it's like, dude, you got skeletons in your closet, I got skeletons in my closet. Let's just say, yo, it didn't work out, and keep it moving. Do it the adult way. You get what I'm saying? So I can't knock that.
Absolutely.
At least they handle it in an adult way, in a civilized way. Because there's a lot of times it can get ugly.
Absolutely. And I can truly hope that it stays that way. You know, I don't know them, but I wish them both the best of luck in their careers and you know, in love and all of that stuff. And who knows, maybe whatever the issue is, they can get over that hump and maybe end up back together. He said that she's still part of his life. We're
going to segue now to the third subject of the day, which is masturbating a form of cheating?
Oh.
Yeah. So should I go first or do you want to go first?
You go first. Let me hear what you got.
All right. To me personally, yes, I think it is a form of cheating. Like, I'll just start it off with there.
The man or the woman.
Yes, I think it's a form of cheating. What is your take on it?
I don't think it's a form of cheating. I actually feel like a lot of people do it so that way they can, you know, repress themselves, like, you know, to make sure like it's a control thing, to make sure that they don't go out here and you know, start hitting off different people because they're not getting it as frequently as they want to in their relationship. So I mean, I would rather a man masturbate than to go out here and cheat on me, or break up with me because I'm not giving it to him enough. Isn't cheating like having sex with someone that's not the person you're committed with? So your hand or your machine is who you're cheating with? Listen, man, I'd rather. Yeah. Let me give it to you from a male's perspective, right? We're dealing with each other for a long time, right? And you feel like you're in the mood. And 5-10 minutes or an hour ago, I just rubbed one off. You like, yo, come through. At that point, I'm like, no, I don't need to. I already handled it. So see, I don't need to come through anymore, you know, to come over there because I'm already satisfied, yada, yada. And then here's another point that I could say. Okay. As far as that goes, if you're doing whatever, but not taking initiative of your significant other, that's a form of cheating because you're basically leaving it up to you or your toys or whatever. But then when it comes to filling the obligation of your significant other, you're not taking that initiative, whatever. It only relies solely on him to make the first move and stuff like that. Now, granted, some people are like that where they're like, yo, I don't like a dude that make the first move. I don't like a chick that make the first. I get it. But if that's not the person you're dealing with and all the time y'all get into it, he's the one making the moves or she's the one making the move, whatever. But lo and behold, you're like, oh, I'm shy, blah, blah, blah. But yet, lo and behold, you're doing your own thing in secrecy, whatever. Like, come on. And then here's another form that it can go into cheating. Also, know you talking from experience. No, listen. Okay. If you get done doing whatever with your significant other, the task isn't finished. Instead of communicating this, like, yo, babe, let's try do this, or I wasn't satisfied, so let's do XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You just say, oh yeah, this junk was banging, whatever, yada, yada. And then you go to the side every time and always finish off and don't tell them.
that's a form of cheating.
Yeah, but you just said another person. I don't think a hand or a machine is it. But see, I think it goes both ways in terms
cheating.
of
It's cheating.
but I think it goes both ways in terms
Okay.
of communication. Because with one of the examples that you gave, you said with the man, okay, he already got himself off, no, I can't come over, whatever. No, he should be able to be like, you know what, because of the fact that I just got myself off, that means it's gonna take me longer to, climax. All right, cool. Let me come on over, do all the tricks, do all the stuff, get a half an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can work it in a way where it works out for both of you, right? But I mean, it's the same thing for the woman. Like, you have to be vocal. So if you know that you like toys, maybe talk to your guy. Hopefully his ego can handle it, but talk to him and let him know, hey babe, I want to spice things up in the bedroom. Can we use this toy? Or let's, dress up.
Before you go on,
okay.
What I'm saying is, if you're talking about this out in the open, that's a different. If this is something you're doing behind his back, that's a whole different story right there. That's what I'm saying.
See, I don't know.
Open communication, yes, I understand it. But behind dude's
not telling
back,
them,
yes, that.
But see, for me, I feel like, what is the alternative though? So if I don't use my toys, I'm either going to get the wandering eye and look to get it from another man, or I may say, you know what, maybe this isn't it. Sex is a big part of our relationship, and I may end up breaking up with this person. So if the alternative is I'm going to use my toys and you're still getting me, you're still getting all of me, I'm not cheating on you with another person, I don't see what the problem is. Same thing with the guy.
Here's my thing. The reason why I say here's my thing is because whenever it comes to that, whatever, like, and we'll put it on the strength of men cheat more than women, right? We'll put it on the strength to that. Men cheat more than women.
And they do.
Yeah, we'll put it on the stuff to that. I mean, the numbers aren't vastly, but men cheat more than women. Point blank. So I always hear the term that, oh, you should be able to wait and control yourself, yada yada. Love should usurp all of this. So if it's gonna go into that, it gotta go in all aspects. You can't cherry pick where does the rules apply. So if you can tell that man, oh, you should be able to wait, blase blah for me, then you should be able to wait to get yourself off or use whatever toy, whatever, because it should go both ways.
I hear you, but at the same time, if you look at it like this, if I'm just, okay, let's say for whatever reason, we're going a long time, it's been a couple days, it's been a week, whatever, or you're on a business trip, whatever the case may be, and we haven't been able to get it done. Okay, so I'm getting my toys. Technically, I'm not cheating on you with a person. Like I said, the alternative is if I'm going out here hitting off somebody else, what is this? The possibility of I'm putting your health at risk. You can catch a disease. You can get pregnant. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can get all of these things. But if I'm just going to my little toy in the drawer, who am I hurting? All it's doing is taking the edge off. It's not like it completely fulfilled me. It's taking the edge off until I get the real thing. So to me, I'd rather my guy whack one off in the shower until he sees me, or if that's going to prolong the activity when he does see me, than him to go out there with another woman. The same way you're saying it's not getting nobody hurt, it's not doing that, it's not blase blah. So what if the dude, right? He gets the chick tested, no STDs whatsoever, no emotions involved whatsoever, and he does his thing. He's not hurting nobody. Yes,
he's not bringing no STDs.
Yes,
into
he
it.
is.
No,
because you're bringing another person into it.
It doesn't matter if you're bringing another person because it's still sex at the end of the day. It's still the term of sex.
Yeah, but no, because when you have an actual person there, even if it's not a sexually transmitted disease, you can also get an infection. Condoms break. Or she could lie, say she's on birth control, she could still get pregnant. Or what if homegirl is crazy? You hit the wrong spot, you hit the right spot, and all of a sudden you got a stalker or she's stalking me. Like, when you include another person, those are the things that you put yourself at risk for.
Yeah,
whereas if I have my toy, you could put what?
So what you're saying is that toys can't malfunction or something like that? You still can be at risk.
But a toy can malfunction. In some cases, sometimes the toy feels a little better because of whatever it does or how big it is. I get that, but it's not bringing another person into the situation.
See, you're stuck on
machine.
The fact. You're stuck on the fact of a person. I'm stuck on the key word here. Sex.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. You can be stuck on a different person or a midget or whatever the case may be.
Little
the bottom
person.
line. the bottom
Little
line,
person, not midget.
I digress. A little person. But the bottom line is you're still having sex without your significant other.
Okay, so let me just also say this. That's where communication comes in. And like you said in your previous segment about putting all of your cards out there on the table, see if this is what the person will accept. Granted, I don't know how soon you want to start talking about sex in the bedroom, but you definitely need to lay those cards out on the table. Let the person know if you're not getting it enough. Let's say, for example, you want it every day, and I'm like, I work a lot. Can we just do once or twice a week? Like, you need to lay all of these things out on the table, because I feel like that's where the issues come in, because people don't communicate, say what their needs are. And even if things change over time, because it happens, you need to, again, communicate and be okay with the fact that if the person is going to use. Go ahead, because you got
no. Because this is what I want to stress about. You're saying if y'all communicated and saying, we'll dial it back to once or twice a week, yada yada. Because I'm not mentioning no names, but this was brought up in a Facebook post, whatever, where somebody said this, whatever. And granted, you're saying, okay, scale it back to once or twice a week or whatever, and you're good with it. Now, if you scale it back to once or twice a week, and then homeboy catch you throughout the week, you getting yourself off with a dildo and you not saying nothing, whatever, it's like, yo, really? But
that would be a problem, because you communicated, like you talked about it.
So that's why I'm saying masturbation can be a form of cheating in a sense.
If you want to look at it like that, if you communicated to each other that these are what but then here's the other thing too. If you communicated to each other that these are what your needs are, right? And let's say for whatever reason, like I said, stuff happens. Let's say I'm on a business trip, or let's say, something happens where we're not in the same vicinity for at least 5 to 7 days, right? You don't think the person can you wouldn't give them a pass if they did, or you still expect them to hold off until they see you?
No. What I'm saying is, masturbation, yes, is fine, but it can be considered as cheating, because this is, like I said, those are circumstances that I get what you're saying, but I'm trying to present to you other circumstances. If me and you smash on a regular, right? And every time, like, I tell you, yeah, babe, this is the best, whatever, yada yada, you're the best thing, blah blah blah. And then one day after we do it, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go take a shower or whatever. After I take a shower, you catch me in the act of pleasing myself. You caught me once, you're like, all right, whatever, maybe he wanted more. But then every time you start seeing a repeated pattern after we do it, whatever. Now, remind you, let's just say the fact that you're hiding, because a lot of times men can't tell if a woman come. So let's just go with the premises that a woman can't tell if a man come. So every time he goes to do whatever, he finishes off himself. But yet the man is telling you, yo, you're the best, whatever, I was satisfied, blah, blah, blah. How would you feel if you find out that for all this time that y'all been doing whatever, you haven't been getting him off, but he got to go on his own and get off by himself?
I would feel away, but it's because of what you just said. He's sneaking off. Clearly he's lying. But if you and I have an understanding that, let's just say for sake of conversation, my sex drive is higher than yours, right? And you already put that out there to you. You're already aware of it. So instead of going back to back, you're like, yeah, I'm good. Or, you know what, I need a couple hours, but I want it then in that moment. I feel like if we have an understanding, we're good. But if you're out here, you're sneaking off and you're hiding, you're lying, saying I got you off and I didn't, I don't feel like you're cheating. But I mean, I guess in a sense, it's like that's a form of betrayal, because you're lying, you're sneaking. But I don't feel as betrayed as, oh my God, he's cheating on me. Because like you said, I think in my mind, I'm thinking cheating equates a person, not a machine or your hand or anything like that.
Nah, I'm sorry. To me, that's cheating.
But again, that's because you're lying. But if you put it out there to me, like, look, this is how often I need it. And I'm telling you, like, babe, I'm tired. Or you know what? I can't do it as often as this, or I can't. Okay. And then you go in the bathroom and do what you do. I already assume, okay, he's going in the bathroom or he's turning over. I already know what he's doing. But if we have that understanding, we're not doing that. We're only going to rely on each other, put the toys away. You're not. And then I'm turning around and I'm still messing with my toys behind your back. Absolutely. You can look at that as a form of betrayal. But that's what I'm saying. Communication is important, but nobody is a machine. And let's be honest, a man can't do what a machine can do, and vice versa, right? So that's why I'm like, you should have the conversation, see if you can bring the toys into the bedroom, and everybody can be happy.
I disagree that a man can't do what a toy can't do. I disagree.
Yeah,
The reason,
but think
the
about
reason
it.
why, the reason why I say I disagree is because let's just say for the instance of a vibrator or whatever, right?
Okay.
A vibrator is only going in one direction, whatever.
What vibrators you been looking at?
If you get a vibrator, it's going in one, like you may have it wiggle, different whatchamacallits at the end of the day, but no, a vibrator.
Man, listen, vibrators have upgraded over the years. So you have them where you have the vibrating panties, you have the lipstick, you have the rose, you have so many of them out here. Don't ask how I know, but you have so many of them out here. And because it's battery operated, there is no 15 minutes or even 30 minutes and it's done. It's until that battery runs out or until you can't take anymore. So that's why I say you can't compare the two, because I hear what you're saying. It's like, yeah, you can't do, no, he can't,
yes,
the machine.
he can. Yes, he
the
can.
Machine.
Because,
I'm talking about
yes,
the machine.
yes,
the machine
can.
can't
Yes,
do certain things that a man can do.
Here's the
However,
thing. Here's the thing.
yeah.
If we're gonna bring outside sources of batteries and stuff like that, then a man can easily just get Viagra or something like that and can actually compete and probably outlast the battery. Because if you get the right whatchamacallit, because my thing is, a toy is out of the element. It's not of natural. It's not natural. So if you want to bring unnatural elements into the equation, a vibrator cannot do what a man can do if he's bringing unnatural things into the equation also.
Okay, but how many men under the age of 60 or 65 are actually out here saying, yes, I'll pop a Viagra, or yes, I'm taking this extra supplement so I can, right before, so I can last for an hour or two. Like, how many people are actually saying that?
Because
they're doing that.
They're not doing that because there's not a demand for it. And now if there's a demand where women are actually speaking up and saying something will be done. But if the woman is not saying anything, then of course it's not going to be a demand for it. It's just
that's the problem, because your egos are so fragile. We can't have that conversation with you guys.
See, here's the thing. See, this. I was hoping you was gonna get into saying that because here's the thing. We always talk about our egos can't handle this, so it's fragile to say this, whatever. But I'm gonna bring it into the element of cheating, so to speak, because it's like, if the guy cheat, he should have just told the woman, I don't want to be with you, so he could go do out whatever. But that man is thinking that what will that do to that woman? Because yes, I don't want to leave her. There's no feelings involved with me doing whatever with the side chick or whatever the case may be. So it's okay for women to curb or do what's in the best interest to think it's gonna hurt the man. But then when it comes to the man thinking it's best interest to not hurt the woman, it's I don't want to hear that. Put your big boy pants on and say what you got to say, whatever, and leave that woman and don't go in the route of cheating or whatever the case may be. But yet women always stick to the guns of, I got to make sure I temper the man's feelings. No, how about men just suck it up, hear what she has to say, and and, put your big boy pants up, because women will turn around and say, I'm a lady, I could handle it. Okay, so have that same energy when you trying to curb stuff.
That makes no sense.
Man's feelings.
That makes no sense, because you're putting it on us.
I'm not putting it on y'all.
Yeah, because listen to what you just said. You said us as women should put our big girl drawers on and tell you guys how we feel and stuff like that, because we don't expect you to curb, because you said that men curb what they say, right? For us. So you pretty much just agree with what I just said.
No, pretty much. We're both doing the same thing from different opposite spectrums.
Exactly. So what are you saying?
What am I saying as far as that angles go?
Yes, because you just said, the same way, because
the reason why I'm saying that is because when women say, men can't handle it, it's automatically expected that we're supposed to say, yeah, you know what, you're right, that's true, whatever. But that's not the same kind of understanding on the opposite side of the spectrum.
I don't get what you're saying.
Meaning, when women say, I can't tell him whatever, because like I said, in this conversation, it was, she didn't feel like she wanted to hurt the guy, whatever, because it's a whole story behind it. She didn't feel like she wanted to hurt the guy. That's why she didn't say something. So us men, we got to do better and stop thinking about our Johnsons as the end all be all, blase blah, this, that, and the third. All right,
Mhm.
fine. 100% understandable. But I want that same energy when it comes to, hey, the man said he didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to hurt the woman, blah, 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 yada, yada. So the same thing should be, okay, so that chick should be able to understand, you know, if the guy wants to leave, not to have her panties in a bunch, not to sit there sobbing, blah, 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 let him go about his way so he can go about his business. She should be very understanding to what this man wants and leave it at that.
That makes no sense because
Okay.
we're talking about your egos can't handle us giving you, I don't know if you want to say it's constructive criticism, but or suggestions about, like you said, your Johnson and hey, take this supplement or this vitamin to help you keep going. But now you're taking it to the level of, oh, when he messes with this other woman, you should be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No.
How did we go from, okay.
The point
I need a different analogy.
The point that I'm trying to make is that man could see that of her using a toy, whatever, and saying, I didn't want to tell you to not hurt your ego. He can view that as cheating. That's what I'm saying. To that man, that's cheating. He does like that. Okay. I say I don't care, but he doesn't care what the outside world will think, whatever they, because that dude wind up leaving that chick because he felt betrayal and everything, and that was a form of cheating. And everybody's like, oh, well, he shouldn't feel some type of way. He should be able to man up, blah, 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 and XYZ. No, if he felt like she was cheating on him, then what's there to have that? Because if the shoe was on the opposite foot, oh, he's a dog, blah, blah, blah. Where's the talk of, yo, she betrayed him, yada, yada? I didn't hear none of that.
Because it's not a person. I think that's probably what it is.
But for me, I see it as sex, the same thing.
Wow.
I see it as the same thing, sex.
Okay. And I guess that's where we have a difference of opinion. Because I don't feel like masturbating, using a toy, I don't feel like that's cheating. But again, if you communicated that this is something you're not going to do and you did it behind a person's back, absolutely, I can understand why they feel betrayed. But if it's something where it's like you didn't have the conversation, and you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you had the conversation. They know that you have toys or something.
Okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, this is what I'm saying. I don't view masturbation plain and cut as cheating. Okay. But in certain circumstances, yes, it can be viewed as cheating.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. For me.
I hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay. That's my opinion.
I hear what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
And like I said, I only view it as cheating if you either communicated that you're not going to do it and you did it behind a person's back, or it involves another person. So to me, if my man wants to masturbate, I'd rather him masturbate all day, all night, as opposed to being out here having community penis. So that's just me.
I said what I said, damn it.
I don't say that to you.
But let us know what you guys think in the comment section on who's right or whatever the case may be. Do you feel masturbating is a form of cheating or not? Let us know what you think in the comments. That I would love to see the comments on that topic. But again, just to say, I don't view masturbating as cheating, but in certain circumstances, yes, I can view it as cheating.
I understand where you're coming from.
All right, let's segue to the last conversation of the day. And this came from a post from Sarita Brown that said, men, do you know when you perform badly in bed? Do you apologize or try to make it up? Women, how do you tell a man he didn't perform well? Or do you even bother? And then it says, asking for a friend with 2 smiley faces.
Oh, man.
All right. So I guess since I'm a man, I'll address the top part. The men, do you know, when you perform badly in bed, yada, yada. And I guess you want to tackle the, how do you tell a man? Okay. And I guess we critique each other's thing. Okay. So for men, yes, men do know when they perform badly in bed. Men definitely do. But see, I think with men, here's the problem though, because it's a gray area. I think men equate performing badly in bed to duration. That's what I think they translate.
I agree.
Yeah. So if a man is like, yo, I was pounding her back in for 30 minutes, whatever, that 30 minutes might have not been satisfying to that woman, but in his mind, he's thinking the duration is up there because,
Yes,
and
he
I
went
think
in.
what I think equated that was Missy's song 1 Minute Man. I think that's
Yeah.
what started that trend or whatever, you know. But if I guess if the man is like, let's look at it at two aspects. If it's just some jump off type situation or whatever, then yes, duration I think is the main thing. But if you're involved with that person, then I think communication should be key. Where it's like, hey, if whatever he did wasn't right or whatever, communication needs to be like, you need to communicate. And another thing I got to ask too is, if you're saying the sex was bad and it wasn't a duration type thing, what did you do as the woman to make it better? Like, did you take charge, take over, like, hold on, baby, let me get on top or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So it goes 50-50,
Yeah.
you know.
It
So
does.
there's a lot of things that you can do as a woman to make things better, where even like, say if he's eating it or something like that, and you're like, you know, hey, slow it down or lick right there, or if he find a spot, hey, keep going right there, you know, stuff like that. So there's little subtle things that you can do to improve it. But yes, men equate it to duration, and if a man do pop off quick, most likely, if he doesn't give a damn about the woman, he's just gonna say, I bet it is what it is. But if he does, he'll take time for foreplay, you know, eat it, finger, whatever. He'll use whatever means necessary to make her come along and climax and, you know, all that good stuff or whatever. But yes, men usually do know when they perform badly.
I don't know if they do know when they perform badly. Like you say, unless it's because they came quick, then okay, that's
Yeah.
different. But I don't know. I feel like it goes back to the thing of us women feeling like, oh, I don't know how to tell a man this. You know, I don't want to hurt his ego. You know, I don't know what the, you know what I mean, what the response will be, because I feel like, I don't know, in the one instance that I had where it was like that, it just never happened again. Like I couldn't. Like I don't
Mhm.
know. I couldn't bring myself to tell him.
Mhm.
And then at the same time, I mean, like you said, did I try to do, you know, anything extra and all this other stuff? No, I didn't, because in my mind, I'm mentally checked out. So it was like, look, I just want this over with.
Mhm.
I didn't think about it like that. But if it's in terms of a relationship, I think for me, the problem, not problem, but the thing is, sex for me is mental. So if I'm into you, we have an emotional, mental, spiritual connection, all that other stuff. It transcends sex. I guess now it's lovemaking. It's, you know, this euphoric thing. You know what I mean? Like it takes on
Mhm.
something different. But I do have a friend where I remember he was venting to me about a situation with his girlfriend. And he was like, yeah, you know, I know the last time we did it, it was bad. And I'm like, well, how do you know it was bad? And he's like, no, I just know, but she didn't say anything. And I'm like, but she didn't say anything. So how do you know? But I think, like you said, men equate the duration with whether or not it was good. But I also feel like us women, we just feel like men can't take it. I have yet to hear of a woman say, like, oh yeah, I had to tell my man, you know, baby, let's switch positions. You know, like, let's get up, or you know what, you're doing this wrong. Why don't you look over here? Or you know what, why don't we do it this? I have yet to hear any woman say that, because they always protect the man's ego.
See, I don't know. Maybe I'm different, whatever, because if a situation back, like I have situations that I could easily throw myself under the bus or whatever, but there's been bad experiences or whatever. But when it came to a bad experience, it's like okay, I had one situation where a girl told me it was a bad experience. And then when it came down to it, I'm like, okay, so what was bad?
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't tell me. And I'm like this. So I'm like, okay, like you're not helping
Yeah, yeah.
fix the situation. You get what I'm saying? So like that's why I guess I need clarity too on like what makes a sexual experience bad.
You know what? Also, I think it also takes into account like communication,
Mm-hmm.
because you have some people where, you know, the sex drives are different. You
Mm-hmm.
have it where some people, and I don't know about the ladies out there, but I know a lot of people that I know, I'm not gonna put anybody on blast,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we tend to think that a woman is supposed to be demure, classy, seen, not heard. So we don't want to
When?
say anything.
When?
But
You talking about women in 2021 going into
See, you're
2022?
stereotyping. Not every woman
Look,
is like
I'm just
that.
busting your chops, but I'm just
Yes,
saying, like,
because
come
not
on.
every woman is like that. I am not like that.
Let's go on Instagram right now
But
on a not logged in profile and see what we scroll up and down.
yeah, but I'm talking about me, my inner circle.
I'm busting your
the
chops.
people I
I'm
know.
busting your chops.
Not all women are like that. Okay, Kevin Samuels.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
But I was trying to say was, you know, we have this thing where we feel like we're supposed to be a certain way and viewed a certain way. So there are a lot of women that I know where, yeah, they're making love and yeah, it's passionate and it's nice, but really deep down inside, they want him to choke her. They want him to, you know what I'm saying, be aggressive. They want that role play. But they don't really say anything because it's like, again, I don't know how he's going to perceive it. I don't want him to look at me differently because a lot of men have this Madonna complex, you know, but they feel like, no, you're my wife or you're the mother of my child or you're, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
I don't want to view you in that light or I don't want to do certain things. So when it comes to sex, it's a really touchy subject and a lot of women aren't vocal. So when you say,
is.
so when we say it's not good or we think it's not good, I see what you're saying with men, they think it's duration, but sometimes for us women, it's not so much because of duration, it's because of what he's doing during that time or not doing during that time.
Okay. So here's my thing. It's like depending on the individual, like I said, some situations it's something that guys are into and it's some things that guys aren't into or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's number one off the bat, whatever. So I'm like, yo, if you're a person that, not to say dominatrix or whatever, but you know, if stuff like that is
Some
what you're
people are
into,
in that,
I
yeah.
know that. But what I'm saying is, if that's the things that you're into, then yes, then find a person who's into those type of things or whatever, because not everybody, you know, is into those things or whatever. But what I will say is, if those are the type of things that you're into, hey, sometimes you just gotta take actions into your own hands. Like I say, like, yo, if you're on top of him, pound him on his chest or something, you know, like something like that. Start small, or if he's on top of something, you grab his hands, put it on your neck. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to help ease or segue into the matter? So if you just say you don't have to verbally say things, you can do it physically while y'all two are in the art of doing whatever you're doing. So there's a method to the madness where it's not going to be ego crushing. There's ways to do it. It's just,
but some men aren't as receptive. Like I remember my one friend, she told me a situation where, you know, like you said, she was trying to, you know, put the guy's hands in positions or direct, you know, his member in certain places and stuff like that to let him know, like, this is what she likes. He would move his hand or he would move it or he would do, you know, stuff like that. And then they had a conversation afterwards. And like I said, it was like that, oh, I don't want to hurt you. Oh, no, I don't want, you know, and it was just like, yo, like, I really just want him to grab me. I want him to pull my hair. I want him to, you know, I want those things. But like I said, some men can't handle it. I'm
sorry, then that relationship ain't going to work. That's just my opinion. Because people, as much as people say, yo, sex isn't really that important. No, at the end of the day, it's important. Like sex can keep two broke people together. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's very important. So it's important that if you try every step imaginable to see, like, to get the person to what you're trying to get to, and it's not there, then that's going to go into segue into the first conversation. Well, the second topic that we had of the day. Now you're what's the word I'm looking for? Yoked? Yeah, no, now you're not unequally yoked, but now you're
settling.
There you go. Yes.
Now absolutely. So, I agree with you. Yeah. But sometimes when we put things into I don't know about you men, but sometimes us women, we put things into perspective. And yes, sex is important, but it's like, okay, is he a good provider? Is he a good father? Is he a good father figure? You know, is he good with money? You know, like sometimes we put all those other things ahead of it. And then that's where we go back to the conversation we had before this. That's when the toys come out. Yeah. You know, to make up for what he didn't do. But no, I agree with you. I definitely think there needs to be communication because
let's get one
yeah.
thing straight. A toy isn't choking you, but okay, go on.
No, you're right. It's not choking you, but it's not getting you off. You know what I mean? Like if
Nah,
he's not getting you
I'm just
off,
busting your bubble. I'm just
I know
busting your bubble.
you always got something to say. I know, but yeah, that's where the toys come out because it's like, okay, well, he didn't fully get me off, but okay, let me go run to this toy real quick. Let me hop in the shower, you know? But
Mhm.
again, that's where communication comes into play. Let each other know
Mhm.
these are the things that you like. Do you like toys? Do you like role playing? You know, do you
Mhm.
like lingerie? Do you like shave? Do you like, you know, like you
Yeah.
need to have these conversations because even if that's not what the person's into, because they're into you and they want this to work and you know all this other stuff,
Mhm.
you'd be surprised at what people start to do.
Yep. And this is one thing I want to add too is men, like, stop sitting up here acting like you can't take no type of critique. Like, come on.
Yes.
If a woman is telling you XYZ, it's not her attacking you. It's just a means of helping you, like helping whatever y'all got going on, you know, to the next level. So stop
Exactly.
taking it as, yo, she's critiquing you or she doesn't like you or whatever. It's not an attack. Because we'll be quick to say, yo, you need to clean up more and you need to do this. You get what I'm
Yes. Or
saying?
you
We'll
need
be
to
quick
wear
to, we'll be
lingerie. Or
quick
you
to
need
do
to,
that.
yeah.
But then we can't turn around. And I want that same energy when the shoe's on the other foot. That's what I'm trying to
Exactly.
say, you know?
Exactly. And don't wait
Yeah.
until it's an argument. You know, it could be
Exactly.
something, a
Exactly.
nice neutral
Yeah.
conversation.
You
Hey
know,
babe, you know, what do you like? Or hey, do you and it doesn't even have to be what I'm not doing. It could just be a
mhm.
simple like, you know, hey babe, you know, I saw that Savage Fenty had a sale. You know, do you like lingerie? What size do you wear again? Or, you
Mhm.
know, like if you know your girl's not really this type that's into lingerie, but it's something you like, buy it for her.
Mhm.
Or, you know, maybe find out what the root cause is. Like I know of somebody where, you know, she has some body issues. So for her, she's not, you know, quick to go and purchase lingerie and put it on,
Yeah.
but maybe ease her into it, or, you know, maybe something where you guys could come to an agreement if it's something that you really want to work. But communication is key.
Yeah.
It
Now,
really is.
this is one message that I will send to the ladies. Look, don't take offense to it, but there's situations where guys want to pull women hair, but they don't know if it's real or not, so they just
First
stay
of
away
all,
from that.
no. Let me just say,
I'm just saying
whether it's
that be
real
the
or not,
I
if
understand that.
it's good quality, he can pull it. It is not going to shed. It is not going to shift.
That's
Okay.
understandable, but
You
what
don't
I'm
see nothing
saying,
moving, right?
that's understandable, but I'm just saying these are things that goes through a guy's mind. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
These
I
are
hear
things
you,
that
but
go through a
even if
guy's
it's
mind.
not the hair pulling, there's other things. Like
See?
there's the choking.
But
You don't
look,
have to.
but look, we're going into the critique thing. This is how a guy feels.
No, I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
But what
So
I'm trying to
just
say
bringing
is
clarity.
there's also other things like there's the choking, you know, you don't have to knock out unconscious, you know, but I mean, you know,
Nah,
there's
you
the
got
choking thing, you know, there's a, hey, there's some people, you know, that like to be smacked. There's some people that like to be spit on. There's some people that like, I mean, people have different things that they like, and unfortunately, they don't feel comfortable saying it, which is why I feel like a lot of people resort to the cheating or the porn addictions or the toys because we don't talk enough about sex in our relationships or marriages. That's
Let's
just
talk
my
about
opinion.
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. All right. All right. So I hope that answers, you know, Sarita's question on the subject matter. I know we was all over the place with it and
Oh
everything
yeah,
like
we were
that.
all
Yeah.
off topic.
But but hey, it was good conversation. Like I said, I was all into it, you know. So it is what
It was,
is.
and the moral of, and you know, the gist of everything is communication.
Yep.
Communication will go a long way. So you're not compromising so much. You're not settling. You'll be equally yoked. Communication, people.
I agree 100%. Miss Tia couldn't say it any better.
Oh, so you agree with me
Yeah.
for once.
Look, I understand that degree has some kind of benefit. So but all jokes aside, nah, I agree with you. You know, it is like facts is facts. I can't be mad at that. So I hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed the show. I mean, some topics went longer than we wanted to, but it is what it is. That's what happened when you having good, deep conversations and debates and everything like that. So let us know what you think in the comment section.
Sounds good.
Please like, share, comment, share it amongst your friends, the whole nine. Again, click the link in the description to join the locals, the Discord and everything like that.
Join the Facebook group.
Exactly. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of Matter of Opinion. Anything else you want to add to it or?
Just wonderful conversation. Looking forward to the comments. They're probably gonna rip me as usual, but it's fine.
You probably me too. So hey, it is what it is.
Exactly.
But, all right, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm Walls P.
And it's your girl Tia.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.